Have you ever wondered if you have what it takes to survive in the wild? What would you do if you were lost, alone, and facing the raw power of nature? Today, we're diving into the incredible true story of Julianne Koepke, a 17-year-old girl who survived a plane crash and then trekked for 11 days through the dense Amazon rainforest. Her story isn't just about luck. It's a powerful testament to knowledge, resilience, and the will to live. It was Christmas Eve, 1971. Julianne and her mother were flying over Peru to meet her father, a renowned zoologist. They were flying on Lanza Flight 508. The sky grew dark. The turbulence became violent. And then, a blinding flash of lightning struck the plane's wing. The aircraft disintegrated in mid-air. Julianne, still strapped to the seat, was thrown from the plane and fell 2 miles, that's over 3 kilometers, straight into the heart of the Amazon jungle. When she woke up the next day, she was alone. She had a broken collarbone, a concussion, a deep gash on her leg, and one eye was swollen shut. The jungle canopy had cushioned her fall, but now she was surrounded by a world that was both beautiful and incredibly dangerous. The sounds of the jungle, the insects, the humidity, it was a sensory overload. But panic was a luxury she couldn't afford. What would you do in that situation? Most of us would probably be overwhelmed. But Julianne had a secret weapon. Her parents were famous zoologists who had lived and worked in the Amazon. From a young age, they had taught her invaluable lessons about the jungle. They taught her what was safe to eat, how to identify dangerous animals, and most importantly, a critical rule of survival. If you're lost, find water and follow it downstream. A stream will eventually lead to a bigger river, and rivers are the highways of the jungle where people and settlements can be found. Her first few days were a blur of pain and disorientation. She found a small bag of candy from the wreckage, which became her only food source. The gash on her arm became infested with maggots, a horrifying discovery for anyone. But again, her father's lessons kicked in. She remembered him treating a dog with a similar infestation using gasoline. It was a bizarre piece of knowledge to have, but one that would prove crucial. Following her father's advice, she found a small stream and began her agonizing journey. She waded through the water, which was safer than trekking through the dense undergrowth, where snakes and spiders lurked. The water also kept her cool and hydrated. She was constantly aware of her surroundings. She saw crocodiles and stingrays in the water but knew they were unlikely to attack unless provoked, so she gave them a wide berth. The jungle was alive, and she was just a small, injured guest trying to pass through. Days turned into a week. She was weak from hunger, her injuries were agonizing, and the psychological toll of being utterly alone is immense. Every rustle in the leaves could be a threat. Every night brought new fears. But she kept moving, putting one foot in front of the other, driven by the hope that the stream would lead her to safety. Her will to live was stronger than her fear. On the 10th day, her small stream finally merged into a much larger river, and there, moored on the bank, she saw a small boat. It was the first sign of human life she had seen since the crash. It was an overwhelming moment of hope. Near the boat was a small, empty hut. She was exhausted and decided to take shelter there, praying someone would return. She waited. The next day, she heard voices. A group of local lumberjacks appeared, and they were stunned to find this young, injured girl in their remote hut. They thought she was a Yemanja, a water goddess from local folklore. But Julianne, who spoke Spanish, explained what had happened. They were shocked. They knew about the plane crash but had assumed there were no survivors. The men were kind. They treated her wounds, using gasoline to remove the maggots from her arm, just as her father had described. They fed her and gave her a place to rest. The next day, they took her on a 7-hour boat journey to the nearest village, which had a small airstrip. From there, she was finally flown to a hospital and reunited with her father. It was a bittersweet reunion, clouded by the loss of her mother and the other 90 passengers. Julianne Coep's survival is more than just a miracle. It's a story that highlights the incredible power of knowledge. The skills her parents taught her weren't just interesting facts. They were life-saving tools. Her story teaches us that preparation and a calm, logical mind are your greatest assets in a crisis. She didn't just get lucky. She actively saved herself by applying what she knew. Her ordeal didn't end with her rescue. She went on to follow in her parents' footsteps, becoming a zoologist specializing in bats. She dedicated her life to studying and preserving the very rainforest that nearly claimed her. She even returned to the crash site many years later to confront her past and make peace with it. So what can we learn from Julianne's incredible journey? First, knowledge is power. Learning basic survival skills, understanding your environment, and knowing what to do in an emergency can make all the difference. Second, maintain a positive mental attitude. Hope and the will to live can push you through unimaginable hardship. Julianne never gave. And third, respect nature. She survived not by fighting the jungle but by understanding it and working with it. Her story is a powerful reminder of human resilience. It shows that even in the most desperate of circumstances, we have an inner strength we might not even know exists. It's a story of survival against all odds, tribute to her parents' teachings, and an inspiration to us all. If you found this story as incredible as I did, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more amazing tales of survival and human spirit. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.